Hello and welcome back to a new tutorial. Today's tutorial is on how to sew a female senator top. This is a continuation of the last video I uploaded. So if you're watching this video without seeing the last video I uploaded, I will drop the link in the description box on how to cut a female senator top. Please watch that video so that you can understand what is being done in this particular video, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe and also click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So in the last video I showed you how to cut the top and also the sleeves, as well as the facing, which is what I'm still doing. I'm also tracing out the facing for the back. I'm tracing out the neckline, the shoulder slope, and also the armhole area. So now that I've traced it out, all I have to do is now to further cut it to the desired length I want. For the armhole region, I want the length to be 7 inches. So I'm measuring out 7 inches from the shoulder slope. Remember that the folded part is now the shoulder. So I'm going to measure 7 inches and rule a straight line. Okay. You can also decide to curve it to make it curvy, but I'll go with the straight line that I've ruled out and I'll cut out. And this is it for the back yoke. So I will go ahead and also do the same thing for the front yoke. So for the front, I'm going to cut out the slit I want in front. I want the length to be 5 inches, so I'll cut that open. I'll cut out the slit. And then for the yoke, in the previous video I told you that I want the length where the slit is to be 2 inches, at least 2 inches longer than what I have for the slits. And then I'm also measuring the shoulder slope to be the same length with what I have for the back yoke. So I would connect as you see me do and also cut out. So after cutting out my yoke, I'm going to iron gum stay to the yoke. I'm going to iron gum stay to both the front yoke and the back yoke. So I'll go ahead and iron the gum stay to it and then show you what I have. So I've ironed the gum stay to the yoke. I did that for both the front and the back, and I also ironed in ½ inch of the hem part of the yoke, so you can see what I have. So what I will do now will be to place the yoke, the right side of the yoke. I'll place it on the wrong side of the top. Okay, the right side of the yoke to the wrong side of the top. I'll place it as you see me show you, and then I'm going to use the yoke. Let me flip it to the other side so that we can understand. So the right side of the yoke is touching the wrong side of the top. So I would arrange it very well and then use the yoke to turn the neckline. Okay, I would sew the neckline together. So I'll go ahead and sew the neckline down to the slit and down like this. So I would sew that, I would notch and then top stitch towards the fabric side and then flip it to the right side of the fabric of the top. Okay, I will do the same thing for the back part. Okay, so wrong side of the fabric touching the right side of the yoke. I will also turn the neckline, top notch and then top stitch and turn it to the right side. So I've done that. I've turned the neckline as you can see. I've turned the neckline for both the front and the back. I top stitch towards the main top, not towards the yoke. So I top stitch towards the main fabric. So I did the same thing for the back part as well. So now that I've turned the neckline, the next thing will be to top stitch the yoke to the main fabric. As you can see, I ironed in about ½ inch inside, so I'm going to top stitch on that part that I ironed in. I'll do that for the front and the back. But before top stitching the yoke to the main fabric, I'm going to join the front part and the back parts by the shoulder. So you can see how I'm joining them, right sides facing each other. So I'm joining them I'm opening up the yoke to the yoke and the main fabric to the main fabric. You can see how I placed it together for one shoulder. So I'm going to sew using 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'll do the same for the other shoulder. So I have joined them by the shoulder, the front and the back by the shoulder, and I ironed the seam open. You can see what I have. I ironed the seam open. So now what I will do now will be to top stitch. The top stitching I talked about, I will then top stitch the yoke of the front to the front part, and the yoke for the back to the back part. So I have done that. I've top stitched. As you can see, I've done the top stitching for the yoke. The top stitching is done on the front side, so you can see I've top stitched the yoke to the front side. You can see my seam very close to the edge. That's how I top stitch for both the front and the back. So now that I've joined them by the shoulder, the next thing will now be to attach sleeves to this top. So I'm going ahead to trim out the excesses I have from the yoke, because the yoke should be the same by the armhole region with the main top. So I'm trimming out the excesses. So now I would go ahead and attach the sleeves. So before I attach my sleeves, I'm going to open up my sleeves, the both sleeves, right sides facing each other. So I'm going to trim out the parts that be the front part of the sleeve by 1/2 inch. I will trim out like this. So if you don't understand this, I'll drop a link in the description box on how to make a basic short sleeve. So when you watch that, you understand. I explained very well how to make your own sleeve. So the front side of the sleeve is usually shorter than the back side. So that's why I'm trimming out this part. So I'll go ahead now and attach my sleeve, so you can see what I have. So because of that excess I added to the back part when cutting, I added extra 3 inches. So the shoulder now is going to shift. So the joining on the shoulder is going to shift towards the front side. So you can see I've arranged them. They are equal. The front and the back are equal at the hem part. So the shoulder joining has shifted. So I'm going to notch the new shoulder slope where the shoulder starts. So when I've joined them, I make sure that they are touching at the hem part and also at the armhole, the chest part. So I'm going to notch this new part, which is now the new shoulder slope where the shoulder starts from. So this part I've notched is where the shoulder starts from. So that is where the sleeve head, the center of the sleeve head would be touching this part I just notched. So that's how I'm going to attach my sleeve to it. So I'm going to open it up. I'm opening it up. The right side is facing up. So with the notch part, I'm going to notch my sleeve as well at the center. So this notch point is going to be touching the notch points on the top, okay, which is now the new shoulder. So I'm going to pin all around. So I've pinned, you can see how I've pinned them right side facing each other. The sleeve, the right side is touching the right side of the top. So I will also go ahead and hem the lower part of the sleeve, and then I would sew the sides. So after hemming the joining the sleeve to the top, I'm going to start sewing from the sleeve part, the opening. I'll close up. I'll sew from the sleeve down like this using 1 inch seam allowance, and I'll stop before the slits where the slit will start. So that's where I'll start. I'll stop, and then I will fold in 1/4 inch of the slits, and then fold in 1 inch again, and then sew to hold down the slits. I'll also remember to hem the lower part. So I have attached the sleeve. You can see my sleeve. I've attached the sleeve. So I would arrange the top very well and then start sewing from the sleeve opening. I'll close up down to where the slit is. I'll also fold the slits and hem that part, and also hem the lower part of the top, and that will be all for this top. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So I've joined the sides, the both sides. I've closed up the sides. I've closed up the slit part. I've also hemmed the lower parts. As you can see, I also attached a pocket, an outer pocket to this top. So you can see how I sewed the slits and also hemmed the lower part of the top. You can see everything, and this is it on how you can make your female senator top, a native top. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe now and also click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. If you also want to see how I made the trouser to go with this top, I will drop the link in the description box. So I made a shokoto trouser, a trouser with drawstring with a rope at the waist, so to go with this top. So I'll drop the link in the description box. I'll also drop in the description box the link on how I cut this top. So thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.